I spent 5 weeks in Hawaii and it completely changed the course of my life. I went to Hawaii because I wasn't really clear on what I wanted to do in life. I felt like I was just kind of like floating and I didn't really have clear direction, and I knew I wanted to do something great, but I didn't really know what. And I experienced a lot of doubt and insecurity, and I thought I should be way further along than I was, and there was a lot of judgment that I placed on myself because I thought I should be further along, and I was constantly trying to figure out what it is that I wanted to do, and I was just really overwhelmed, and it seemed like I couldn't quite crack the code. So I decided to take a leap, and Hawaii, I'd been there once, but I felt like there was so much more that I wanted to experience, and I felt really at home there and really at ease there. So I signed up for this program and I lived on this farm for 5 weeks, and my intention was to just completely change as a person, to come back differently so that I would have to take a different action and I wouldn't be stuck in the same pattern that I'd been stuck in for so long. And so I went for 5 weeks and it ended up doing what I wanted it to do. And I got to experience so much there that I realized that I couldn't go back to how life was. Like, I couldn't go back to business as usual in my life. Like, I'd experienced so much of a change. I experienced so much of just living the life that I wanted to live, that I realized the things that weren't fitting that in my life back home, and I realized I had changes to make. I realized I had things that needed to be adjusted. And so I came back, and I came back hard, ready to make the changes that I needed to make. So I finished my lease at my apartment. I had about like 5 months until my lease ended. So I used that time to save money and continue enjoying my town, because one of my decisions was to leave where I was currently at, move back in with my parents to pursue photography, cinematography, and that's something I'd been wanting to do for a long time. Also music, all things that I've been wanting to pursue for a long time, but I didn't really believe I could. So I was like, okay, if I really want to go all in with these things that I'm passionate about, let me go move back to my hometown, live with my parents for a little bit, launch my business, start making money doing these things, not having to be super worried about money, so that I could focus on like getting better at my craft, starting to get new clients, all of the things. And so the end of the year came, my lease ended. I left my job of 7 years, which was a huge place of anxiety for me, not because of the job at all, but more so because I genuinely didn't know how I was going to get out of my job. I felt very stuck there. I felt like I didn't know what else I was going to do. Like, I had ideas, but I wasn't sure if they would work out, and ultimately what was required was for me to just take that leap of faith. And so I decided to leave my job and move out of that town, move back to my hometown with my parents, and start really pursuing the things that I've been wanting to pursue for so long. And so I moved back in with my parents, and the first couple months, January and February, I started posting a reel on Instagram every single day, because I wanted to get better at my craft. I wanted to put myself out there more. I wanted to be consistent. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it. And so for the first 2 months of the year, I just went crazy. I started getting more gigs. I started getting better at what I do. Started learning a bunch of new things. I started investing more in gear that I would need. I got a new camera. I started just like taking the steps, and everything was feeling really good. I was starting to get new job opportunities, freelance stuff, and then I landed a really good job, which I'm currently at now, working for a show that's going to be on PBS, and so that's where I'm currently at, and along with just continuing to be consistent with my growth individually as far as my music goes, as far as posting on social media, and started writing a little book as well. So doing all of these things that I've always wanted to do, and realizing that one idea leads to the next and to the next and to the next, and so everything is starting to converge and grow and become it's like a flow that I'm in, and I'm really enjoying the process of it, and I'm really enjoying how it's all unraveling. And it would have never happened if I didn't take that one brave step of putting myself in a new situation, aka going to Hawaii by myself, not knowing anyone, and really having the openness to experience something new and to be changed, like I really wanted change, and that's what I stayed open to the whole time when I was in Hawaii, and even now still today I'm just very open to being shown a new way. And when I was in Hawaii, I had the gift of being able to spend time with this guy. His name was Surya, and he is like this guru man that everyone comes to see in Hawaii. He's from Sri Lanka, and he's this copper artist, and he has people from all over the world come and seek his guidance and talk with him. Like he guides a lot of people, and I had the gift of spending time with him because he lived on the farm that I lived on. And he really infused me with a lot of confidence, with a lot of the awareness that I could really have whatever it is that I want in life. At the time, I was really in a lot of doubt. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't really have direction. I wasn't clear. And that was really one of my biggest intentions going into it, if not the biggest, was to get clarity on what it is I really wanted out of life. And he really listened to what I had to say, and he offered me with the most simple but like profound advice ever. And if it weren't for that relationship, I don't know if I would have been able to walk away as changed as I was. And so I'm so grateful for that time, and I'm so grateful that the universe or God or love or whatever you want to call it brought us together and gave me that gift for that time, because I genuinely needed it. And that really changed the course of everything for me. And flash forward to now, where I look around at my life and it's completely different than what it was just 3 months ago. You know what I mean? It wasn't that long ago that I was stuck at my restaurant job, just so in uncertainty and doubt and anxiety as to how I would ever be able to leave that restaurant job. Like I was in such, it was terrible for me, because I just didn't know how I would be able to get out of it. And that's what happens a lot when we're in these situations, is that we don't see the full picture, and we don't see how much potential is out there for us, because we're so stuck in our limited ways of thinking. And that's why experiencing new things opens us up to receive a different input, and then we can take a different action from that new information that we just received, because we tried something new. So it's really about stepping out of our thinking and doing something that you wouldn't normally do, so that you can receive a different outcome to a situation, and then take a different action. And that's how change kind of happens, is you start with doing the same thing over and over and over again, but then you say, let me just try this today, and it's a little bit different, and that results in a different outcome. And from that new piece of information, from that outcome, you're able to generate a new action. And you keep kind of doing that over and over and over again, and then before you know it, change arrives in your life. And it takes bravery, it takes courage, but if you really invest and take the time to give that process your all, like your undivided attention, is that process, your life will change before you know it, and you'll be in a whole new life, and you'll say, how did I even get here? Not to mention you're also going to start to build a new relationship with yourself, and become more confident in yourself and what you're doing in your life. Because a lot of the times we do the same thing and we feel stuck, and your actions continue to reinforce that you're stuck because you're not taking any new actions. But the more you can start to do what you say you're going to do and take new actions and put yourself in new situations, you start to build that rapport with yourself. You start to build a trust with yourself that knows that you have your back, that you have your best interest at heart, and that you're invested in building the most beautiful life that you can for yourself. And when you have that within yourself and you feel that safety and trust within yourself, I mean, there's nothing quite like it. You start to see the potentials of the world and what you're capable of doing. The unknown doesn't scare you as much anymore. The unknown actually becomes a source of excitement and curiosity and adventure. And so there's just so many benefits. And life is just this roller coaster ride. And I'm super stoked and super grateful to be in the position that I am, and to continue going, and continuing to just step closer to the things that are calling to me, and seeing where this adventure of life is leading me. So that's all I have. Sending love.